Hi YouTube, welcome to another one of my videos. You might have just seen on the video just before this one, I put up a video of my shed and showing you in that video of the update of the shed is stripping the Wolseley down. When I showed you hopper a minute ago, it was pretty much finished. While this video has been uploading for the last couple of hours because the internet's so slow here. I just finished sanding off the little bits and pieces while I brushed all the bits out. I've probably stripped the paint probably over 95%. There's obviously little tiny bits you get, but if it's stuck well, I'm not bothering with it, but I didn't want big parts of it left where it could flake. So the hopper has had its first coat of WD2 Blackfire's metal paint. This is that fin I was on about I've made. Don't look too bad considering it only had one coat on top of it. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased how it's turned out so far. I put the hopper upside down and painted there's like a joint marker, so down and around all around the whole hopper, and then I flipped the hopper up and painted all around the top, done up in spark plug and that. When I applied the paint, I would use it out the tin as it comes, but paint like maybe 4 and then get the brush which I've been using and just have a little jar of white spirit, which you got here, and just literally dip the end and not dab it in, I just literally just touch the top of it and literally just smooth the paint out you've done with a bit of white spirit on the brush, and then obviously dip your brush back in the tin and carry on. Because these are a thicker coat, it's not as thick as it comes out the tin like I said, but once it gets the third coat I might tip some of the tin into a jar and thin it down with a bit of thinners and obviously carry on doing the restoration like that. I'll show you the bits that had 3 coats so far. This is the valve chest cover. As you can see, it's quite shiny. That's had 3 coats, just like thinned as I mentioned I'd done on the hopper. The bits which I had 3 coats at the minute I'm going to stick in the airing cupboard for a couple of months, a month, maybe 2 months, and wait for a nice day and take them outside and wet and dry them back a bit, just get rid of brush marks a bit, and then like I said, I mix up a bit of thinners with the paint and give it another 2 coats, so in total the engine will have 5 coats. I've done a little bit that goes on the crankshaft, that's had 3 coats. That's the plate that goes on the water jacket, that's had 1. That's coated quite well actually, because being flat and no bumps in it, you can put it on a little bit thicker and then just smooth it out with the white spirit on the end of the brush. Tank straps have had 2 coats each. I want to concentrate painting the insides of them now, once these are dry, and then when I finish doing the hopper to the standard I want, I'll bolt them back on and then paint the actual outsides of the straps. But in between coats I want to wet and dry any runs and that's the problem trying to thin it. You get a bit sort of runs in a couple places, but just leave it, don't play around with it. As long as you don't get your runs in like the last coat, because that will upset you, because that would mean doing another coat. The fuel tank, each end I've done 2 coats each. I've painted from this joint up and over like 1 coat, leave it overnight, and then flip the tank over and do the same on the other side. As you can see, quite smooth. It's come out quite nice. It's almost looks like it's been sprayed. You can't really see the brushes marks that much, but like I say, I want to wet and dry it. There's a couple runs, a little tiny bit there. The other side I was a bit annoyed, there's a run here somewhere, but that side, which is quite a big run, will be in against the hopper, so you won't notice it like that. This is the paint I mentioned to you. It's a Blackfire's WD2 metal paint. You can use it wood and metal. It's a nice paint to paint with, it's really nice. It does take the heat quite well. Obviously leave it for a while to go off before putting petrol in that in the tank, and obviously carburetors, if they drip onto the paintwork, they shouldn't peel it hopefully, but if it does bubble up, don't play around with it, leave it for a few hours, it'll probably settle back down and dry itself out. once the engine has been painted and put back together, I'll literally start up like 5 minutes, turn it off. Obviously put your water in your hopper, make sure, so it don't overheat on the paintwork, and gradually maybe do it like 5 minutes and then increase it to 10 minutes. When I take it to my first valley, you might see it up the first valley. It might not be running all day, but I just want to cure the paint by just running it maybe like half an hour and then shut it off for 20 minutes and then start up again. Just let that paint go sticky and then dry, and it's part of the hardening process. Probably take maybe a couple shows to do it up, and then I can put loads on it, then like water pumps and alternators and that. It should take it, but like I said, you don't want to go rush and like put it all together and then run it all day. That's where you will have problems. So that's just a quick little update for you lot, and thank you for watching my videos. I'll update you again on the valve grinding on the actual Wolseley block. That's out in the shed, so that'll be done when the better weather, not when the block in there is already messy, and I don't think Nan going to be too impressed on their worktop. I've already put plywood down, newspaper, I've locked the window and vent so there's ventilation coming, and I've shut the utility room door, so it does stink in there, but it shouldn't go through to the house. It's been there for the last week on the worktop, the tank, and it has, so they haven't moaned yet. The flywheel had 2 coats each side and the pulleys had 2 coats, but they've gone off to my mates and they're going to get machined down hopefully. He's definitely pretty sure the pulley can be lathed, put in the lathe and skim the top off, but the actual flywheel's got quite a bit of pitting, but he's not too sure it'll fit in his lathe. But if not, he might know someone else to do it, or might have to go online and see anybody around which can fit a 14¼ inch flywheel in the lathe. So it's gone off there tonight. My granddad's took it over there tonight, so he might have a few days and let him play around with it. But he might do it, but we just see. I'm definitely pretty sure the pulley will be done, and that is the worst of the two. Yeah, so I'll be pretty pleased if it does get done, because it would look quite nice, the smooth flywheels and that of it. The flywheels on the Wolseleys don't have numbers stamped in the actual top of the face of the flywheel. The list of Ds have them stamped at the top number, which matches up with the plate on the side of the engine's oil, the spectrum plate. That's where the number matches up on the list of D. On the Wolseley, there's no numbers actually on the flywheel, but there's a number on the hub where the shaft goes through. There's a little number there. Also, there's a number that matches the oil plate, the spectrum plate on the side. The number will match that over where the magneto is on the Wolseley. Underneath the fuel float comes down, and then you've got the mag there, and the engine cast comes around. The number would be on the top there, so that should match up with the plate. That'll be all original together. That'll be the whole engine originality if those numbers match up. But if you're missing your plate on the oil spectrum plate, just chip away the paint, unless someone's painted it really nice and you don't want to, but it's not worth it doing that then. But if you're going to be stored, it's worth cleaning that area up quite good and see the numbers does match. This one does match. This one was made in 1947. It was sold to a farm in Newquay in Cornwall. I'm not too sure what it done there. Like I mentioned in my other video, it had a long shaft starting handle, so it could have been on a cement mixer, it could have been on a sheep shearing set. And then obviously I mentioned this pipe came out the side when I got it. I don't know if someone had that on, I don't know if Wolseley himself done it, because whoever done it had done a good job at it. It was an angle pipe coming out like that. So I'll probably dig the pictures out later on in the next video, and I can show you what it looked like when it first landed on the doorstep. It was quite bad, it was very bad. This engine sat outside for 12 years when my uncle owned it, in the rain, frost, snow and everything. Didn't get covered up, toll pollens, nothing, it was just sat there. The bloke who owned it before had it out on his doorstep for 4 years before that, and he never touched it. When I bought it back here, it was almost in a state of season, but lucky enough it did turn over, because I think where it was dropped off it was reasonably sheltered up my uncle's. The mag got stripped down, and actually all the workings of that mag went back together, and the mag does work, except from the condenser went last year, but that's probably just to do with age as well. So condenser's done. The coil was lucky enough to be alright, which, touch wood, it is going along alright. So I cleaned that mag up and it was alright. So thank you for watching this video, and I will show you some more of this restoration of this Wolseley. I'm not going to do a deep restoration of stripping all the bits out of it. I've done that last time when I done it up. Everything came off it except from the crank came out. I didn't take that one out at all. The oil seals I did not take out. The piston did come out because the rings were broke on it. I left the oil things in it. So thank you for watching, and join me again in another video. Cheers then, and goodbye.